What's up, guys? I'm Lucas, also known as NJMA Goats or NJCO Goats. Also, NJMA Sports Pod is my main TikTok account. And I'm here with Giants Nation 9 and Giants underscore prods. And today we're going to be discussing the Giants Week 7 recap versus the Philadelphia Eagles, an absolutely disgusting game. And normally we discuss the Colorado Buffaloes on here, but instead we're going to start discussing the NBA season because of the NBA season starting tomorrow. But we'll go over to our first question, which is just overall thoughts on DJ. He threw for 99 yards on Sunday, and he got benched in the fourth quarter. And Coach Dable said he's starting on Monday Night Football. So, what are your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm surprised why they didn't put Tommy DeVito in because not gonna lie, last season he was actually doing pretty good. And Drew Lock, Daniel Jones is actually doing better than Drew Lock, so I think they should have put Tommy DeVito in.
Yeah, I think he might be hurt right now. I don't know exactly. Either that or he's not on the team. But I agree. I'd rather see Tommy DeVito out there than Drew Lock. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think he's just gotta make better throws. He can't even extend plays. It's getting to the point where like when we have three open receivers, he's like, I'll take the sack. And I think we should either start Tommy DeVito or even maybe consider Drew Lock at this point.
Yeah. I guess I guess since we've kind of covered that, we'll head into this next question here. Just overall thoughts on the offense as a whole this season, or the past couple weeks, if you want to say that. They've scored a total of 10 points the last 2 weeks. One touchdown at MetLife the entire season, and it was a rushing touchdown for a yard by Tyron Tracy. Jones continues to have offensive struggles. He threw that terrible interception against Cincinnati. Yesterday, they didn't have any explosive plays. I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this Giants team right now? Or just the offense as a whole, really?
I feel like we should pass the ball more because really we can't rely on a running back because we don't really have Saquon anymore. So we can't do the same things we did last season. And yeah, we should just look for Malik Neighbors more.
Yeah, I mean, even with Malik Neighbors in, and he's had 2 weeks to recover from a concussion that I don't know if it was even that serious of a concussion. Maybe it was. But either way, I mean, a concussion is a concussion, but having 2 weeks to recover from it and just not really able to do anything, it's not great. And that wasn't technically his fault. They just didn't really get him the ball when they needed to do it. They gave him the ball, I think, a bit in the first quarter, and that might have been it. It's ridiculous how bad this offense is. And Dable, in his press conference after the games, he always says, put that on me. That falls on me. and we need to get better. That's what he says, but they don't get better. Each week, it seems like they get significantly worse. This week was probably worse than last week. And last week in his press conference, Dable owned up to how bad they are and said that they would improve, at least that he would try and improve the offense. And he knows that the offense is having struggles, not just with Jones, but with passing plays and all of that. Um, so I don't know if Dable is exactly doing what he's supposed to do either.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of add on that because like I think like we only got what like eight, 9 first downs versus the Eagles, and we can't even like do anything like about that. But we just got to get better, like O line blocking, and Jones has to step up like he did versus the Vikings
Well,
in 2022.
even the O line is doing its job. Maybe not yesterday because they didn't have Andrew Thomas, but before when they had Andrew Thomas, and maybe it's because Andrew Thomas is a big part of the offense. But they were doing what they were supposed to do, and Danny was just making the big mistakes, either holding on to the ball too much, throwing it to the wrong guy, or just making himself under pressure. So it's not necessarily the O line's fault. The O line is doing everything they can. Like Carmen Brasillo, the new offensive or the new coach for the O line, has done a great job.
Yeah, I think Jones got sacked like what 7 times, 6
To
yesterday.
yesterday,
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what our O line gave up like
I mean,
7 sacks. It's
I
all
don't
crazy
know.
like that.
Yesterday might have
Yeah.
just been like an off day.
I mean, like we only scored a field goal, but the Eagles did have more possession time than the Giants with the ball. So
Yeah.
I mean, at least Danny didn't throw an interception yesterday. But
Yeah,
like he's
but
got to get rid of that ball somehow.
he's got to play better. I mean, we'll move on to the next question as you're saying that, but like just overall thoughts on Dable and how he's running the offense. Like we talked about it earlier, how he just keeps owning it up to himself in the press conferences that he's in, but they just can't produce anything on the field. And I don't know what they're going to do about that, if anything. I thought Dable might have gotten fired today, but I don't think it's going to happen at least until the bye week, if they even fire Dable at all. They need to make some changes. They're getting rid of Danny after this for sure, after this year for sure. Um, and they also just, I think they need to get a new coach. I don't know who that new coach necessarily will be, but they just need a new coach, I think. Dable is not running this team well right now. We saw it last year too.
Yeah, Dable. I think he needs to go. But like I said, like who's gonna be the replacement? Like it's gonna
Yeah,
be hard.
if they fire him mid-season, I think they're gonna go with Shane Bowen. Um, I don't know who exactly would be our offensive play caller. Probably our quarterback coach. Um, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of question marks.
Yeah, and I think they shouldn't. I don't think they should win games because we have obviously a huge quarterback problem, and we should just lose some games to get a better QB next year, and it will help a lot.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I don't know, but if like we're trying to even get like a new quarterback, which is gonna be hard because Danny's taking up like 20% of our salary cap right now. It's gonna be hard to get a new quarterback even if we wanted to. But like if I were to like if I was like Brian Dable, if I was Dable, I would like the quarterbacks that we need right now, like for next year, even the year after that, or just even this year. Like I would think like maybe even Matthew Stafford would have fit in with our offense a little bit,
We
wouldn't
can
he?
still trade for him. We have the next 2 or 3 weeks if we're gonna trade for him. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we need to trade for someone. I
Maybe
don't.
Breeze.
I think we're either going to trade someone or we're gonna trade for someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need someone to jumpstart this offense.
Yeah,
Our season is over right now.
Yeah. But
Unless we can beat the Steelers next Monday, a week from today. I
yeah.
don't know.
If we do get Stafford though, I feel like we'd probably give up too much for him.
Probably. I mean, they're gonna have a big asking price, I think. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Um, I think like later in the season they're probably gonna sign a quarterback and just have him replace Jones. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
they made the right decision benching Jones today or yesterday. But they gotta figure out a way to just get this offense rolling.
yeah, because I just looked up quarterback free agents right now. Uh, like the only two ones that stand out are Ryan Tannehill and Desmond Ritter. That's it. They're like,
I mean,
um, yeah,
no Giants fan wants Tannehill, but out of those two, you gotta take Tannehill if we're
yeah,
even going to take anyone. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, Dable can try and turn this around. I don't know if he's doing a bad job, but a good coach would not allow his team to score 3 points. I don't care how good or bad the Eagles are. You can't score 3 points in a football game. It's simple as that.
yeah.
Pattern from the national.
Um, I might be wrong, but didn't we let go? What's his name? Um, who we
Tyrod,
let go? No, Tyrod went to the Jets. I think.
he did. Yeah.
Didn't we let go of Matt Breida, our running back? That
Yeah.
was like, yeah, yeah. Because like I don't know. Because like even like if Singletary gets out again, like we because I think he's a free agent right now. Matt Breida, I think he's a free agent.
Maybe.
Honestly,
I think we should have kept John Feliciano from 2 years ago. He went to the 49ers.
yeah,
Both of them went to the 49ers actually. Um just a year after. But we'll see what Davis can do. That's what I'll say. Um, but the next question, and this might be the last question for the Giants one, unless you guys have any others. But Who is at fault for the offensive struggles, DJ or Dable? You have, if there is one at fault, because this is a big controversy right now.
I would think it's DJ's fault because whenever like when we were getting blitzed by the Eagles yesterday, I saw like he would always drop back in the pocket, and he wouldn't like throw the ball at all. He'd just hold it, and like Dable was calling the right plays, but Daniel Jones just doesn't know how to get rid of the ball. So I think it's DJ's fault, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's both of them. We just talked about Dable and why, but DJ, same thing as you. He just can't throw to anyone. He doesn't know what he's doing exactly. It almost seems like he just wants to get sacked out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it's Dayball's fault because mostly he keeps saying that he's gonna fix things as an excuse, and they never get better.
That's what
And
I was saying earlier. Yeah.
yeah, they want better results, but we're never really
They
getting.
want better results, but what are they going to do that? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, and DJ can't even throw the deep ball at all. And then like he's trying to run the ball on third and long. I think it was right when he was trying to run that third and long. But
He tried to scramble a couple times and it just didn't work.
yeah, he just doesn't know where and when how to distribute the ball.
Yeah.
I think he just gets scared that like he's gonna get like sacked or something, and then like when they're like 5 feet away, he just runs off with the ball. Then we get sacked for like 20 yards.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it could be the O line's fault. It could be Dable's fault, or it could be just his fault for doing that. But it definitely seems like he just doesn't want to be out there right now. And he's acted like that since the first preseason game where they lost to the Texans.
Yeah. Um. I kind of want to talk about the defense a little bit, maybe for the Giants. I just want to like talk about like kind of like just like how like they like view stuff because like yeah, because like whenever we punt the ball to the Eagles, because we punted a lot last game, and right, and then when our defense would come on, they would be like they're like aware, like our defense is really good right now, and they like understand like what they're doing, right? But because Burns and Dexter, because that's our D line right there. And McKinney went to the Packers, so we don't have him anymore. I mean, because Bobby Okoye, or whatever his name is, he's
Okay,
doing good at the linebacker spot, but
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think their defense is doing everything that they need to do. It's the offense.
Yeah, it's just the offense that we don't know what to do. Like the Eagles, um, they went 3 for 3, right on fourth down. But on third down, they only went 1 for 13. And like
Yeah,
another thing, the Giants are averaged last game against the Eagles 2.2 yards, and we have with the time of possession, we had the ball was 24 minutes and 40 seconds. So
yeah, that's a less than one half. Yeah. I mean, with those stats, you're just not gonna win football games. It's as simple as that. You're not gonna win football games with those stats.
Like the Eagles had 65 plays, and we had 55 plays, right? And they still scored what 25 more points than us, and they had 5.2 yards per play, and they had double our first downs. They have 10 more minutes of possession time because they're just running out the clock and running the ball because they're feeding it to Saquon. So that's it's not our fault, but it's no one's fault that they're running the ball. It's just that the Eagles would be like weird for just feeding the ball to Saquon the whole time.
Yeah, I agree.
And we don't even have any penalties. Like the Eagles had 6 penalties for 35 yards, and we had 5 penalties for 35 yards. So we're good on the penalties. It's not like we're doing anything wrong with penalties or anything like that. Like
Well,
we're playing the game cleanly,
we
but like
shouldn't have any penalties in the first place. Some of the penalties that teams have, you just can't have in general.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah. About the sacks. We sacked them 5 times with our amazing D line, right? But we got sacked 8 times, and we
yeah,
punted 11 times. Crazy.
yeah. I mean, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, because like the Giants' defense is just it's really good. We're doing everything right. It's just that like our defensive coordinator is really good too. I really like him, right? But
Yeah,
because what's it called? Bill Belichick isn't coaching right now, right? But because last year he said that he's either looking to come if the Giants have a mediocre season, he might come in as defensive coordinator, which I don't think he's gonna do right now. I think he might go to like the Chiefs or anything because he said, or I'm gonna go to some team in the AFC.
he won't go to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Dable gets fired. That's who they're gonna replace him with. But John Mara needs to be smart here.
Yeah.
Like he needs to figure out what he's doing. Um. All right.
Like
Yes.
like let me just tell you something real quick, right? So like an average quarterback averages like 150 yards and probably like a touchdown and a half a game, right? That's probably like an average quarterback in the league, right? On like a
Yeah.
good team. So Jalen Hurts only got 1 touchdown and 115 yards, and we threw 10 passes, right? But if you look at Saquon Barkley, he's averaging more than 10 yards per carry, and he's like averaging I think like 2 touchdowns right now. Like
Yeah.
last against us, he was averaging like 11 yards per carry, pretty much.
I mean, he could have just had a ton of like momentum in that game. But yeah, I agree.
yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, the Eagles, with seeing Saquon play, the Eagles actually somewhat might have helped us. Um, because now we know that why Saquon's playing better on their team than ours, and we can know what to fix now because
Yeah.
we can see our defense, their defense, and why they're playing better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
they got triple our yards, total yards. We had 43 passing yards yesterday. You know what's a crazy stat that I found out today about Daniel Jones? He hasn't at MetLife. he hasn't thrown a touchdown in over like 380 days, or like where it was like 500. I forget. It was
Yeah,
380 or 500 or something like
he
that.
was hurt last year too, but that doesn't give him an excuse. But yeah, all right, let's move on to. I guess we'll just go over this game and then that'll be it. But Celtics versus Knicks to kick off the NBA season tomorrow. What do you guys think?
I think the Knicks. Me personally, I'm a Nets fan, but I think the Knicks are gonna be really good this season because they got Carl Anthony Towns, and I think they actually might even overpower the Celtics here because they have Jalen Brunson. I think they got Mikal Bridges too. If I'm right.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Have yeah, their team is good for sure. I think the Celtics will win, but you never know. I mean, it's ring night for them, so they'll probably be a bit emotional. Um, and then I think for the Knicks, I think they'll definitely be coming out strong. It'll be a gutsy game. Knicks versus Celtics is always pretty gutsy, and it comes down to the wire almost every time. Um, so we'll see what happens, but yeah,
Yeah. I don't know if Julius Randle left or is he still on the team.
I think he's still on the Knicks. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. Coming from a Celtics fan, I actually think that it might be a close game because if you take a look at the Knicks preseason, I mean, I know the preseason doesn't matter that much, but if we look at the Knicks preseason, they're actually doing pretty better than the Celtics now. But I think it's going to be a close game for sure, though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna definitely show like what these teams are about this season. Obviously, the first game of an NBA season is different than the first game of an NFL season, so you never know what's gonna happen. Um, Even if the Knicks end up shocking the Celtics, it doesn't mean anything's gonna happen for the Knicks. If the Celtics win, it doesn't mean anything's gonna happen for them either. So hopefully they can start the season out strong. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a very like close game that shows what both of these teams are about.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll be back every Sunday. Might not be the same people every time. Next week we'll probably be back on Tuesday or Wednesday because the Giants play on Monday. Um, but thanks for watching this podcast, and as always, let's go Giants. So.